So welcome to the Helix webinar series. Today's session is on HelixGPT Insight Finder. We're going to be covering an introduction. For those that don't know, we have 5 sessions that are going to be running over the course of the next week. This is the first session that we're starting with, and it's for the APAC India region. Joining me today is John Hannon. He's going to do his introduction very shortly. Before we get started and I hand over to John, just a couple of reminders. There is the Q&A section of Zoom. If you have any questions during the session, we're joined by Nikhil and Tarun, who will be answering your questions in the Q&A. And then we should have roughly around 15 to 20 minutes at the end where we will take your questions live. Until that point, if we can ask you to put your questions in the Q&A, and you will remain muted until we get to the end. So, John, I'm now going to hand over to you to get started. Over to you.
Great. Thank you very much, Sam. Kia ora, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everybody. Welcome to today's session on BMC HelixGPT Insight Finder. I'm John Hannon. I'm a director of the Customer Success Management team here at BMC Helix. And over the next approximately 30 minutes, we'll explore how BMC HelixGPT Insight Finder is transforming the way teams interact with data, making insight accessible, actionable, and immediate. So let's have a look at what we're going to cover today. Today, we're going to go through a high-level overview of BMC Helix Agentic AI strategy, introduction to BMC HelixGPT Insight Finder, and then we'll have a look at a demo of real-world use cases across different personas, and then we have a call to action where we have a workshop offering. So whether you're in IT operations, service management, or business leadership, this session is designed to show you how Insight Finder can help you move faster and think smarter. Let's start with the bigger picture. So Insight Finder is part of BMC Helix Service Ops, powered by HelixGPT. This is our agentic AI platform designed to bring together AI, Gen AI, and automation to drive intelligent service operations. It's not just about dashboards, it's about enabling every persona in your organization to ask questions, get answers, and take actions without needing to be a data expert. The HelixGPT AI Fabric leverages agentic AI to deliver a fully connected, end-to-end service ops conversational experience. It enhances the user experience by allowing employees to ask questions like, what is my organization's vacation policy? And it provides real-time summaries to help desk agents and SREs. For example, it can explain that a banking application is slow due to a network switch dropping packets. By analyzing historical incidents, knowledge-based articles, and situational data, HelixGPT recommends the best course of action using predefined runbooks or automated workflows. These automations can be executed manually or autonomously for self-healing. If no automation exists, HelixGPT can generate remediation plans, code, and workflows to accelerate resolution. Leveraging historical trends, HelixGPT can also predict future issues, such as recurring network failures impacting banking applications on the first Monday of the month. By integrating AI-driven automation and predictive intelligence, HelixGPT transforms service ops, reducing manual effort and enhancing operational efficiency. So BMC Helix is the only open-first agentic AI platform for service ops that unlocks human potential to multiply productivity. It is built for services and operations organizations and IT leaders who need to manage service performance across complex and challenging IT landscapes with constrained budgets and team sizes. BMC Helix arms IT organizations with a fleet of AI agents across service ops in a flexible, easy-to-scale architecture and total lower cost of ownership. It frees up enterprise IT to tackle high-impact and high-value work. Our agentic AI eliminates the mundane, helping teams to reduce toil. Plus, because it's a containerized platform, it's your choice of deployment. Use GCP or AWS to maximize your credits, manage on-prem and hybrid with ease. It improves efficiency and lowers costs, allowing you to bring your own AI, which means you can use any discounts or company strategies you already have in place. maximizing value from your cloud and AI investments is key. And BMC Helix makes it easy with a bring your own AI and bring your own data approach. It allows organizations to work within your environments and your user interface using our integrations with enterprise collaboration tools such as MS Teams. Finally, BMC Helix has an open, flexible AI architecture that delivers measurable productivity gains. You get time to value quickly and see fast return on investment. BMC Helix fuels enterprise-wide operational efficiency while reducing complexity. We have designed and distributed our agentic agents across 4 dimensions of service ops, as shown in the slide. Insight Finder, the agent we're going to drill down into today, actually covers 2 of these dimensions, service management and AI ops. So let's have a look at where Insight Finder comes in. It's one of our most powerful agents designed to help you create, refine, and share dashboards from BMC Helix ITSM and BMC Helix AI Ops data using natural language. No code, no delay, just results. And the good news, it's part of your entitlement for all SaaS subscriptions. So let's set the scene. You're managing a complex IT estate, hybrid cloud, microservices, legacy systems. You've got monitoring tools galore. But when something goes wrong, it's a scramble to piece together the story. Does that sound familiar? You're not alone. Many organizations, from financial services to the public sector, are facing the same challenge. Too much data, not enough insights. The complication of this is that dashboards, the very tools that are meant to help, were often part of the problem. They're hard to build, even more difficult to maintain, and usually require someone who knows the right query language. That creates triage delays, opaque change risk, and slower decisions. When a P1 incident hits, you're left waiting on someone to pull the data, build the chart, and interpret the results. That is time that you don't have. And this is where Insight Finder changes the game. It's an AI-powered agent that lets you build dashboards simply by asking questions. At its core, Insight Finder is designed to make every service or operations manager feel like a data analyst without needing to be one. You don't need to know how to code. You don't need to build a complex dashboard, and you certainly don't need a data science team on standby. It's powered by a clever AI approach called React, which means that it doesn't just respond, it reasons. So it understands what you're asking, figures out what data it needs, takes action, and then adjusts based on what it finds. It's a bit like having a very sharp assistant who knows your systems inside out. You can change the chart type on the fly. You can add filters. You can ask follow-up questions. You can combine multiple views into one dashboard. And the best bit, it's fast, it's intuitive, and it's designed for everyone, not just the tech savvy. So whether you're in IT ops, whether you're managing change, whether you're running the service desk, Insight Finder helps you to get to the answers quicker and act on them with confidence. So now we're going to talk about how Insight Finder helps you actually build dashboards without the usual hassle. We've all been there. We know what it's like when you're waiting for somebody to look at the data, pull the data, build the chart, make it look decent. You have some to and fro going backwards and forwards on what's been generated. Everything is slowing down the process. But with Insight Finder, it's just a case of asking. So you literally just go to the agent, you type in a question, something like, show me all the incidents from last week, and it builds the dashboard for you. You don't need to fiddle with any of the filters. You don't need to do any drag or drop. You don't need to know what schema it is. And it's not just about speed. Insight Finder chooses the best visualization for the job. So if a pie chart makes more sense than a bar graph, it will sort that out for you. You can still change it, of course. You can change the chart type. You can add additional filters. You can ask follow-ups, but the heavy lifting is done for you. So it's a bit like having a dashboard designer and a data analyst rolled into one and always on hand in the Insight Finder agent. So this means faster decisions, less back and forth, and more time spent on actually solving problems, not preparing to solve them. So one step further, if you're not sure on what you need to ask, again, this is where Insight Finder's prompt recommendation comes in. It doesn't wait for you to ask the perfect question. It helps you figure out what to ask in the first place. So it's a bit like having a colleague in the office who knows the system inside out and says, hey, have you thought about looking at this? Or have you thought about applying this filter? So it can also understand the context of your role, the data you're working with, and the kind of insights that you might need. Then it suggests prompts that help you uncover things you might not have even spotted on your own. And because it's AI driven, it's not biased by human assumptions, and it's not limited by what somebody thinks or what you should be looking at. It's objective, it's fast, and it's tailored to your needs. So if you're not sure where to start, Insight Finder can give you a nudge in the right direction, and that can make all the difference. Our journey with Insight Finder started in version 25.2, but we recognized the experience and coverage were limited. In 25.3 version, we've made a significant leap forward. It's easier to onboard. It offers broader service ops coverage, extending beyond service management into IT operations management schema. And it now supports both the Azure OpenAI 4.1 and Google Gemini Flash 2.0. This is the release we recommend as your starting point for unlocking full Insight Finder value. Very soon, I'm going to show you a demo. Today, we're going to talk through a persona-driven demo that highlights how BMC Helix Insight Finder empowers different roles across IT and business operations. We'll explore how each persona benefits from intelligent insights, automation, and visualization capabilities tailored to their unique responsibilities. Let's first look at the business service owner persona. So, as a business service owner, your focus is on service health, customer satisfaction, and strategic alignment. Insight Finder provides real-time visibility into incident trends, service request volumes, and asset distribution, helping you make informed decisions on risk, investment, and performance. Insight Finder gives you the strategic lens to manage service reliability, responsiveness, and business-critical problem areas. As a change manager, governance, traceability, and risk mitigation are your key priorities. Insight Finder can, for example, link incidents to change records, visualizing change timing and risk levels, and support post-change analysis. It strengthens governance through detailed tracking of change timing, product impact, and completion rates. For the service desk managers, operational visibility and prioritization of issues is key. Insight Finder enables dynamic dashboards showing incident breakdowns, SLA adherence, and asset lifecycle tracking. It empowers faster resolution and better workload management through dynamic incident breakdowns and responsiveness tracking. And as an IT operations lead, your goal is for operational resilience and efficiency. Insight Finder equips you with proactive monitoring, infrastructure alignment, and endpoint visibility. It drives operational resilience through proactive planning, systemic issue detection, and infrastructure visibility. So each of those personas sees a different slice of value from Insight Finder, but together they form a unified view of service health, operational efficiency, and strategic alignment. And this demo will show how BMC Helix Insight Finder transforms data into action across the enterprise. With that, I'll switch over to the demo, and you can hear from my colleague Marta Zamorano and show you these use cases in Helix Insight Finder.
Hello and welcome to the Insight Finder demo. To access to this agent, we need to go to the Helix portal and from here going to Helix dashboards. If everything is well configured and enabled, you will see in the left part of your screen HelixGPT Insight Finder. Clicking here, we are opening our conversation with the agent in the right part of the screen. This system is focused on different roles, different type of people. So depending on our permissions, we will see the different type of data. For example, for a service desk manager, they will see data about incidents, problems, and for a change manager, they will see the data of change management. We are going to start this demo with the incident module, but later we will move on to the different ones. Here, starting with the demo, we tell to the system show incidents by status in a pie chart. If I don't write here the type of chart that they want, then the agent is going to select the best for us, his recommendation. But in case that we define what type of chart, he's going to show to us. Here it is. So this is our pie chart generated by the agent. But in this case, it's like, okay, I want to see a different view. I want to change this and see in a bar chart. So system is going to change this and show us like a bar chart. We can do more updates here, like order by descending, ascending, and then it will be done. If we want to start with a new topic, because this dashboard is okay, but we want to add to the final dashboard, we want to add more reports, more tables, more dashboards, more charts, then we need to click here to the new topic. Clicking here, we start the new chart, the new panel, and say, show incidents with summary and submit date. This will be a table. In this table, we will have the summary and submit date. Again, if we don't put here the fields that we want, then the system will select which one are better for us. In this case, as they are selected here, we will see summary and submit. But now I forgot that I wanted to add other fields. I forgot urgency, I forgot impact, and I am going to add the fields on the table. So clicking here, then the system, the agent is going to do the modifications to add these fields. Once this is done, in the same way, we can reorganize and change the position of my fields. Urgency can be after incident number, for example, or impact. We only have to put here in the chat in natural language, and they will do that. To continue with this type of examples, we are going to remove the column submit date. In this case, this is not needed anymore, so I am going to delete from the table. And it is calculating. And here it is, we don't have anymore. Then, when our table is okay, we are going to add a new topic because we are going to continue adding panels to our dashboard. In this case, is show incidents details including submit date and responded date for incidents submitted in the past 6 months. That means that we can add here filters. In this case is by filter by time, so I only want the last 6 months. But I could create filters in natural language with product category, with priority, and the system is capable to create with these filters. We are going to continue with a type of question much more generic, so because we are expecting for the agent to say us or to tell us some recommendations. So help me to analyze incident management. That is very, very generic. So agent is going to try to understand what we need. So he's going to offer like different options from here. Here it is trying to help us. You can generate a query to calculate the total number of incidents, calculate the average mean time to resolve, generate a trend analysis of incident counts, or calculate the total number of incidents for each assigned group. So we can select one of them, and then it's going to do our panel here. We can also do questions generic, like help me to analyze incident management, but focus on the field priority. So the options that is going to show us is based on the priority field, but we have the same options to select one of them. Here it is, total incidents by assigned group. Moving now to a different type of questions, in this case related with problem management. Display number of problem investigations, number of problems that I have in my system. So this is like a select count. Tell me how many do I have in my system. And here it is, 22. You see this visualization like a number, like a select count. We can do this bigger, smaller, everything that is needed. At the same time, we can move to organize our panel. We can move all the panels here and then put on the right, on the left, bigger, smaller, everything that is needed for us. Different questions about problem management. In this case, it's about the list of problems, but at the same time, I want that the system calculate the resolution time based on the submit date and the last completed date. So in this case, not only is showing my data, but also to do some calculations that I am going to see in the system. It is calculating. And here it is. So here we have the table, we have the data, but at the same time, the time to resolution that has been calculated. Maybe I can say, okay, I need to understand, I need to know which people were working in this problem because time to resolution is too much. I need to talk to the supergroups, I need to talk to them. So in this case, I am going to add a column, assignee group, and then I will see the group that has been managing this problem, and then I have the option to talk to them. Here it is, so I can go to this team and then talk to them about every problem that I have here in my list. Adding new topic. Now what we are going to see is the distribution of the problems grouped by business service. So this is more focused if you are the owner of a business service, and then I want to see number of problems for my business service. Even I can change this question and write here distribution of incidents for that. Could you please confirm business service is the service CI? Yes, I can confirm. I confirm. Sometimes if the agent doesn't have clarity about what we want, is doing some specific questions, we confirm, we put the information, and then it's the moment that this is calculated. So last step here is to rename this dashboard distribution of problems by service CI. We are going to change the title here, problems by business service. And if you see on the top of the dashboard, you will see the new name, problems by business service. Once we have this generated, maybe there is one of these dashboards that I really don't want to have here. Then in the three dots, we have the option here to remove. If any panel doesn't work for us, we can remove and then create a new one. At the same time, every panel, you can see the query. As we were saying, this is natural language. We don't need that, but in case someone that has the knowledge and they want to check and select and analyze the query, they can click here and then copy to clipboard and then move to another part to execute in dashboard or in database to execute the query. So they can see the query and then they can execute. This is only a query visualizer. I mean, there is nothing else here. It is not needed to create our panels. It's only for visibility. Now that we have our dashboard about incidents and problems, what we are going is to save the dashboards. Here you need to write the name, incidents and problems, English demo, and then it is important you select your folder to have this very well organized, not to have problems on that. So my recommendation is to have the correct folders for the people that have access, or the way that you want to organize, to have everything well done. Save here. And dashboard is saved. That means if we out from here, if we go to Helix dashboard, now it's like you are going, hey, be careful, because you are going to lose unsafe changes. But unsafe changes here in HelixGPT Insight Finder. But I am okay because my dashboard is already created. So I click on this card, I go to dashboards, and then I can go here and to find my dashboard that I just created. Incidents and problems, English demo. Here, something important is that we have tags. One of them is Insight Finder. For everything that we have created in Insight Finder, we have this tag. That means that we can see and we can check how many dashboard has been created with Insight Finder and how many dashboard are not created. Here, and it has been created with SQL, Visual Query Builder. If I click, I can see my dashboard with all my data. From here, I can schedule and I can put in favorite. That means that I don't have to do the report every time that I do the access to Insight Finder. No, if my report is done, I only have to come here to my favorite and then select and open it. We move again to Insight Finder, and from here what we are going to do some of the questions about change management. In this case, show breakdown of changes group by assignee group. So I started my new dashboard for change management. Now it is calculating, and here it is, change records by assignee groups. But I can do other type of questions, the same like incidents. How many changes has been created in the past 6 months and have been also completed? So in this case, it's like a double question, because it's like how many created and how many completed. We are going to see the results. Here it is. It's like a double number, total changes and completed 0 in this case, okay, in the last 6 months. You see that they can do it bigger, smaller, organized, whatever we need, as we were talking. New topic. Here in change management, we can do something similar that we did in incident. So my change management analysis, that means it's a generic questions, and then I can select from the different options what is best for me. Here it is, calculate total number of changes or generate the query to determine average total time spent. All of that. There are the different possibilities. We click in one of them. And then it is calculating by request status. Here it is distribution of changes request by status. We have this distribution that is helping to us. And now if I go to a new topic, well, in change management, we can do all the questions that we need to focus about we are interested on. And now the question that I am going to do is something different, is more focused on digital workplace. That is new from 25.3, so we can do questions about service requests going to in digital workplace. In this case, show the total number of service requests grouped by status in the year 2025. Getting the answer. Here it is. So we have, depending on our status, the number of service requests. And this is all that I am going to show for change and service requests. Here is the same. Save the dashboard. Always don't forget that, not to lose my changes, and then start to use, like in February, the schedule, whatever it is needed. Thank you very much for your attendance. Happy to be here with you. I hope this is useful for you, and we will try to answer the questions and to hear you about your comments. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So now looking at the key takeaways from that demonstration, and please, if you've got any questions and answers, don't forget to put those in the chat. We do have Nikhil and Taryn here joining us today. So Insight Finder puts the power of data in everyone's hands, like we described. Whether you're on the service desk, whether you're leading operations, you can get the answers that you need quickly and confidently. By weaving Insight Finder into your daily routines, you'll see faster times to insight, reduce reliance on technical specialists, empower teams who can self-serve and act decisively, and better service outcomes for your customers. For the business owner, they can gain strategic insights into those incident trends, service quality, and product level impact, supporting their decisions on risk, investment, and customer satisfaction. For the change manager, we can enhance change governance by linking incidents to change records, surfacing root causes, improving that traceability, and reducing disruption and improving post-change analysis. For the service desk owner, empowering that operational visibility to help you with that prioritization of many, many demands that come into the service desk through those dynamic breakdowns, responsiveness tracking, and critical incident triage. So faster resolution and better workload management can be arrived at as a result. And for IT operations leads, enabling proactive monitoring and systemic issue detection through trend analysis is critical to infrastructure alignment and endpoint visibility, so driving operational resilience and efficiency. And because Insight Finder is part of the broader agentic AI ecosystem, it integrates seamlessly with other Helix agents, giving you a unified, intelligent, and scalable approach to service ops. So as I mentioned before, we had talked about some of the updates and the versions and changes that have come in the versions since version 25.2 to 25.3. Prior to activating Insight Finder, we do have some prerequisites. So first off, it's very useful to have some familiarity with BMC Helix dashboards, whether you typically build against service management or operations data. It's not essential. It will help you get to value faster. As I mentioned, you do need to be at a minimum version of 25.2 for the platform common services, which is dashboards, and for the service management applications. Like we previously mentioned, we're recommending starting at 25.3 if you can, because it's going to expand coverage across service ops and make your onboarding to Insight Finder smoother. If you're still on 25.2, you can absolutely follow along today. Just expect a slightly narrower dataset scope. Third, you need an active LLM subscription. So on 25.2, we support Azure OpenAI GPT 4.0. With 25.3, we add Azure OpenAI GPT 4.1, and we also introduce Vertex Gemini Flash 2.0. Practically, that means better response quality, faster interactions, and the flexibility to align with your organization's AI strategy. So the call to action. Let's take a moment before we go there to bring it all together. What we've looked at today is BMC HelixGPT Insight Finder and how it helps you move from data to decision without the weight and without needing a degree in data science. It's not just another dashboard tool. It's like having a data analyst on call 24/7. You ask a question in plain English, something like show me your critical incidents from last week. Insight Finder builds the dashboard for you. You can tweak it, ask it follow-ups, change the chart type, change the heading, add columns, or through natural language. It's intuitive and it's built for everyone, not just the technical-minded folks. So whether you're on the service desk, whether you're managing change, or whether you're leading operations, Insight Finder gives you the insight you need to act confidently and decisively. And because it's part of the agentic AI ecosystem, it plays nicely with other Helix agents. So you get a joined-up, intelligent service ops experience that scales with you. In short, it helps you get answers faster, make smarter decisions, and frees up your teams to focus on what really matters. So, if today's session has sparked ideas or curiosity, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to one of our upcoming Insight Finder workshops. This workshop is a hands-on interactive session designed to help you get the most out of Insight Finder. Whether you're just starting out or whether you're looking to deepen your experience, you'll learn how to go through the initial configuration and setup, learn more about what Insight Finder is and when to use it, some best practices around prompting, and how you can adopt it in your daily operations. So to subscribe, or if you're keen to get started right away, register your interest, drop us an email to success@bmc.com, or reach out to your BMC account team. If you have a customer success manager or you're working with a Helix adoption advisor, reach out to one of them and they'll get you signed up for the workshop. Thank you again for joining us today. Let's keep the conversation going and let's turn AI into action. I'll now ask the rest of the co-presenters if there are any questions that are unanswered in the chat. Thank you, Sam.
Indeed, it's been very, very busy, and thank you, Nikhil and Taran, to answering the questions. So we've got a question Taran's just asking or answering now from Shalik. So there's no additional license that's required. So do you want to just pick that one up, Taran? I know that you've just answered it, just for everyone else on the audience today, while I unmute everyone.
Yeah, so you just need your LLM, so you can have our BMC pre-configured LLM, or you are free to choose your own LLM, like John already mentioned, like Gemini, Azure OpenAI. Just bring in your LLM and we can plug it for you.
Wonderful, thank you. And then the next question is it only for ITSM or can it also work with ops?
So it works for ITSM as well as for DWP, CMDB, AI Ops. Yeah, just everything that's part of the semantic layer. It does work very well with it.
Great, thank you. And then Nivius had a question. Once we upgrade to 25.3, we can enable to use HelixGPT Insight Finder. Is that the case?
Exactly. That's what it is for.
Okay, thank you. And then Srikanth had a question just saying, if we connect to a specific database which has tables, can we connect to it and get insights?
No, I'm not too sure if I understood it correctly, but are you talking about a custom database other than what we have as part of our ITSM, or?
SQL, he's mentioned in the chat. And Srikanth, you can come off mute if you'd like to. I've unmuted you. Otherwise, yes, he's saying SQL database. Taran.
No, SQL database is fine, but see, this agent, our dashboard agent is primarily, it supports our ITSM or DWP or any BMC application form. So if it's a private SQL database where you have your own tables built in, then I'm afraid it may not. Unless everything is configured within the BMC application system, BMC, then it should, given the fact that it's part of our semantic layer.
May I add to what Tarun said?
Please do.
Yeah, so this is Insight Finder. The visibility of data sources it's limited by all the data sources that are supported in Helix. So for example, if you have a custom application developed on IS or what was previously called ARS, then all that data is within the visibility of Insight Finder. Now, for your custom applications, you will need to develop a semantic layer because Insight Finder relies on that semantic layer, the understanding of the underlying schema, the tables, how the tables relate to one another. You need to educate Insight Finder on the schema. And there is a tool called Reporting Metadata Studio, part of Helix dashboards, which allows you to do that. So for any custom application developed on IS, you will need to develop this semantic layer in Metadata Studio and upload it to Insight Finder. Insight Finder will understand that schema, and thereafter you can use Insight Finder for those custom applications as well.
Thank you, Nikhil. Hopefully that's answered the question. I don't think he's able to come off mute unless you can hear us. Srikanth? I think he might have joined via the browser, but if you can just reply into the Q&A section to say that's answered your question. And if you do have any further follow-up, I'll follow that up offline for you. Okay, so the next question we have is how difficult is it to implement on-prem?
It's not a question of difficulty. I understand that when you say on-prem, then your ITSM or your Helix deployment is on-prem. I assume that you will want an on-prem LLM as well. Remember, Insight Finder or any of these Helix GPT agentic solutions require you to have your own subscription to a large language model, what John just described, Azure OpenAI or Google Gemini or hosted on Vertex. As long as you have a subscription to these, and these could be SaaS, these could be on-prem. If you have an on-prem installation or on-prem deployment of these large language models, then your on-prem installation of Helix, you will be able to use Insight Finder on-prem as well.
Hopefully that's answered the question. Okay, next one is, can we control the access of the use of AI?
Can we unmute Ashish, please? Need some more
Yeah.
context.
I've unmuted everyone, so Ashish is welcome to speak. Can you hear us, Ashish? I think he's also joined via the browser, Nikhil. Sometimes when people join via the browser, it doesn't allow them audio. I don't know, what context would you like Ashish to add? Maybe he can put some more into the chat and we can come back to his question.
Okay, I'll try to answer it as best as I understand it. First of all, Insight Finder is AI. So if you're trying to control AI, it's going to place limits on the effectiveness of Insight Finder. Firstly, if you don't have a large language model, then you can't use Insight Finder, as simple as that. It relies on a large language model to decipher your conversational questions and convert it into a database SQL, run it on the database, get the result set, then call out to Helix dashboards, determine the right way of visualizing the result set, and finally display it on the screen for the user. So all of this is AI driven. You cannot do this without AI.
Thanks, Nikhil. And then
sorry to interrupt.
No, go for it.
I think Nikhil, what Ashish is asking is, can we restrict it to the users? I mean, like it will be available in the Helix dashboard section, right? So all the users will be able to access this Helix Insights, or like, will there be any restrictions to the users?
Good, thanks. That's a better question. So this is a question of access control. If you want to restrict access to certain users, you can certainly do that. There is a configuration option within Helix dashboards that allows the admin to decide which users can access Insight Finder. Most companies will want to start small and then expand to more users or all users later. We do have an access model that allows you to do that. Using role-based access control in Helix dashboards, your admin can decide which users will have basic access to Insight Finder, which allows them to generate those visualizations, and which users will have a more comprehensive access to Insight Finder, which not only allows them to run these prompts and get those dashboards, but also save those dashboards so that in the future, you can edit those dashboards through the classic interface and so on. So it's entirely up to your admin to control who gets access to Insight Finder.
One more query from here, Nikhil. So if users don't have access to particular forms or tables in the backend, so still they will be able to generate the reports using the Helix Insight?
No. Remember, Insight Finder is part of Helix dashboards, and Helix dashboards always honors the data level access control that the user has. It would be unfair and inappropriate to allow a user to access data in ITSM or any other application if that application doesn't allow them to do that. So this allows your admins the peace of mind, as well as anyone from a governance standpoint, if a user needs access to, let's say, change management data through Insight Finder, make sure that the user has access to change management data in ITSM. Okay, so Insight Finder, all those filters will automatically be applied. Data level access control. Insight Finder upholds the integrity of data level access control. So if whatever access your users need, make sure that they have that basic access in ITSM or AIOps, whatever application you're using Insight Finder with. And then from Insight Finder, they'll be limited to their visibility of the data.
Thanks, Nikhil. That answers my question.
Thanks for your question. And then we've got one more question in the Q&A, which says, can you share the demo, also installation process for SaaS Insight Finder?
Yeah, I can take that. So installation, there is no installation, but there is a configuration. And what John just described on this webinar earlier, we are going to organize a series of workshops over the next few weeks. These are going to be hands-on workshops. So if you qualify for that workshop, which is, can you go back to that slide where we show the
I
prerequisites?
just came back to the call to action. Hopefully that's showing, or tell me
Yes,
if it's
it
not.
is. Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Okay,
is.
thank you.
Yes, call to action. Yes. So now, if you are on a supported version, which is ITSM 25.2 or higher, you have your own LLM, then you can join these workshops. And these are hands-on workshops where we'll be focusing on just configuring your instance for Insight Finder. We'll have our own solution engineers on the call. So if you need assistance, we'll do that during that call. So the workshop isn't just a demo, it's hands-on. You come there with your instance, you should have access to your instance, you should have access to the API keys of your LLM provider. And during the workshop, we will help you configure Insight Finder and get it to a state where you can start using it.
Thanks, Nikhil. And I've just put that in the chat, and I'll also remind people in the thank you email, the email address to put your registered interest. Okay, that's all our questions that we've had so far. Lots have come in this morning, so that's great. Thank you, everyone, because I know it'll help with some other people's questions in mind. Do we have any other questions that anyone would like to ask? Feel free to come off mute or put your questions into the Q&A section of Zoom. And while they're doing that, Nikhil, is there anything else that John shared today or Tarun that you'd want to add just in general about Insight Finder? Because I know, Nikhil, we've already done a session a couple of months back.
Yes, so I just want to reiterate one more point. John, can you go back to the prerequisite slide?
Sure.
So let's talk about licensing. And this question came a few times during this workshop. Insight Finder is an entitlement to you. If you have ITSM licenses, you are licensed to use Insight Finder. So you don't need to purchase any additional license. However, what's necessary, you should be familiar with using Helix dashboards. You should know the process of dashboards. So it becomes easier for you to build dashboards using Insight Finder. You need to be on a minimum version of 25.2 for dashboards as well as ITSM. More importantly, you need to have your own LLM subscription. It could be Azure OpenAI, Gemini, one of these two. So that although Insight Finder is free for you, you need to bring your own LLM subscription. You need to bring your own API keys from your company's LLM subscription. Only then will you be able to take advantage of Insight Finder. So just keep that in mind that we have done all we can to make this accessible to all customers. No additional licensing required to use Insight Finder, but you need to get your own LLM licenses.
Thank you, Nikhil.
Thanks, Nikhil. And I would just add to that, if you are a SaaS customer and you're currently not on version 25.2, if you're on a lower version than that, then please do reach out to your customer success manager if you are working with one, or send an email to the same email address, which is success@bmc.com, to register your interest in going through the SaaS upgrade process, if that's applicable to you.
Great. Great, thank you. And we've got another question in the Q&A, and then we'll come to Abhijit again. Can GPT-5 as your OpenAI also be used with 25.2 from Radhika?
I can answer that. So these LLM vendors, especially OpenAI and Google, they'll keep coming up with newer versions of their models all the time. And at BMC Helix, we will keep pace with the newer versions of these models. After newer versions of these models are released, we test them to make sure they work with our solutions, and then we will release it. So GPT-5 is currently being tested with our applications, including Insight Finder. Once we test it, we will make it available to you through your configuration, and then when we release it, which will be in one of our Helix dashboards, upcoming releases, you will have an option to turn on that model in Helix GPT Agent Studio. So once you do that, you can take advantage. And so same goes for Google or Gemini. Today we support 2.5. Whenever version 3 or any higher versions come out, we will test it, and then we will make that model available to you. So yes, GPT-5 is currently being tested. You can look forward to GPT-5 in one of our upcoming releases.
Wonderful, thank you. Abhijit, I can see you've got your hand raised. Do you want to come off mute? He has put the question also into the Q&A. I know people are struggling this morning. So he's just said, if our LLM model says, say, for example, Azure OpenAI is an internal network, can it be configured at BMC side to reach those models in our intranet, maybe via the CNG tunnel? You see that, Nikhil?
I do. I'm not sure I understand the question. Is this an on-prem? When you say internal network, is this an on-prem installation?
Hello, Abhijit. Can you answer?
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, I can. So, yeah, I mean, the instance we've got is on our cloud for Azure OpenAI, and we were testing, and it was not able to reach from the BMC Helix GPT Studio. So, yeah, this question is that. It is not accessible over internet.
Yeah, so this, okay. So maybe I would recommend you reach out to support for this issue. If there's an issue with Agent Studio not being able to use your on-prem AI model, I'll recommend reaching out to support.
Thanks.
Thank you, Abhijit. Okay, do we have any more questions? Okay, if we don't have any further questions, then John, thank you very much for presenting today. Nikhil, Tarun, thank you also for sharing insights and answering questions. Just one final plug that I've got, and thank you, John, for moving to the next slide. For those that aren't aware, we're running global roadshows. They are in person. Obviously, this is wonderful. We can do it digitally, and it means it's a lot easier, but there's nothing better than in-person events. So we are now in Stockholm as of tomorrow, and we do have some future events coming up. So if any of you are in these regions, we would love to see you. I will be putting out the link where you can go and access signing up for roadshows. I suspect many of you were on the Melbourne or Mumbai. And then the final bit is the peer reviews. If you do have any feedback on BMC Helix, especially with your technology, obviously in question, the closest review would be for the ITSM platforms and also the AI platforms. Please fill in and leave a review. This is gift cards that are given directly by Gartner if they do publish your study. Again, there's a QR code. There's also a link. We will be sharing that with you, so don't worry about doing that now. Okay, John, I think that is all our slides that we've got today. Probably the main thing that you want to cover.
And I just want to say thank you to everyone for joining. If you've got any questions, please, like we said, it may be not until later in the day that you think of something. So do reach out to us. Use that success@bmc.com email address. Reach out to your customer success manager or the account team. And many of you will know me as well. So by all means, we can help signpost you. If there's something that you need to know, please do get in touch. And thanks to my co-presenters. Thanks, Sam, for arranging, Nikhil, Tarun, and Marta, for your contribution. And I wish everyone a wonderful rest of your day and rest of your week.